I was up pretty late trying to think about wacky things to do at the international this year. I thought about like starting a gang or God. I think my best idea that I came up with last night is to get a bunch of people in on like some ridiculous joke because that international is when everyone starts to look towards Dota. I
Yeah.
know Worlds goes on in League of Legends at the same time, and try to convince that like everybody who's there is like their first time to Dota or these news teams or even if like the host like Slack goes to interview them, try to convince everybody that like Spider-Man is coming to Dota or something like that. I don't know. I want to mess with the Dota audience and the outside of Dota audience somehow. I'm still workshopping it a little bit though.
Yeah. It's gonna
Yeah.
noodle it for a little bit.
Exactly. Uh, I want to mess with everybody somehow at TI though. It's been like 2 years since I left my city.
Yeah, I feel that. We've got a pretty. I mean, I want to look at the game here though. We're 4 picks deep
Okay.
into both teams. We got Tidehunter, Tiny Witch Doctor, Void Spirit for D2 Hustlers. They've got to be pretty happy with these picks so far. One of the options here is obviously the Tiny in the safe lane or in the fort position. Now seeing that it's going to definitely be Mr. Jeans on that Void Spirit mid. On the side of Infamous though, they grab Sacred's
Oh,
Timbers off.
hold on. Then we don't necessarily know it's going to be Mr. Jeans on the it's on the hero in the mid lane. Monster did play Void Spirit at position 3 a couple of times in DPC season 1.
That's true, but I remember Devi Lama's interview very carefully yesterday, and it definitely was something along the lines of just, when we asked about what Monster's feelings were, getting his lane sacked every game as a Tidehunter, it was something along the lines of, just pick me Tide, I don't care. So I'm starting to feel like it's going to be a Monster Tidehunter here. We'll see, though.
Yeah, but this could be like the 200 IQ player at D2 Hustlers. They even set up the post game interviews.
They could have.
As information that Infamous is like trying to use to their advantage, and they don't get the opportunity.
Absolutely. I mean, why not? They could do it. They could absolutely do it. What do you think we need last phase here, though? Right? Because there's the potential for the Tiny safe lane, but it's something that can be flexed to 4. And then we look over at Infamous, and they definitely need a safe lane hero here, right? Like, we need an actual carry.
Yes. They did carry that pumps out a lot of damage as well. And I guess the first thing that came to mind for D2 Hustlers was the Medusa, one of the few things that are actually going to be able to pump out that kind of big damage and also be a frontliner as Timber Size starts to fall off. I mean, Gyrocopter would have been another one that's fairly solid. I think you should get rid of the Sven as well. Silver Edge is going to be pretty strong against the Tidehunter. I think D2 Hustlers, they don't get rid of it. Instead, they take out the Tidehunter counter. Get rid of the Slark.
I mean, I think they've done it every single time. They already grief his lane enough, like forcing him to be first pick on the Tidehunter. And I think it's always this last phase, almost every time last ban is going to be the Slark, just to guarantee that he doesn't have the worst possible game. They want to sprinkle some glimmers of hope there for Monster, with that Slark ban.
Sprinkles?
You a big Sprinkles fan?
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Gotta be at Sprinkles. Now, D2 Hustlers. All right, this is kind of out of left field, but you could just take a Darkseer here.
I'm more of a right field kind of guy, to be honest, but
okay,
it's fine.
Now, Ricky, I know you're a right fielder, as you've suddenly revealed. What do you think about a Darkseer?
It's not necessarily something we haven't seen. I think one thing that they do lack is the follow-up for the Darkseer. You pretty much only have Avalanche and then like the Ravage if it's going to be a 5-position Tide, which is not going to have a Blink Dagger. So it's not the easiest, but it's doable. Definitely doable. I think what we're likely to see here is a Faceless Void Faceless Void's banned. Never mind.
I know you're thinking of the purple aesthetic. You see Witch Doctor and Void Spirit. You got
Yuma Mag? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's your AoE, so you need a little bit more lockdown. Is going to be Mr. Jeans on the Void Spirit. Like Monster said yesterday, just pick me Tide Lamau, Raffle.
IDC, I'll have a bad game, but I'll make it work. The Yuma Magnus here with the Monster Tidehunter, like this combo that they've ran multiple times has been super successful. And we're going to see Devi Llama taking the 4th position, Tiny as a result. So this is going to be a great game. I think both teams have a lot in the draft that they like here. Alone's Invoker is really strong. We get Lumiere on Luna. And I'm excited to see Excel's Clockwork. I think his Clockwork can do some pretty heavy lifting here. Just has to make sure he can stay on top of this Tidehunter.
Yeah. The Clockwork, like his damage is going to fall off in the late game. I think they needed somebody who's able to pump out a ton of damage to make up for it. I'm not sure Luna's that hero, though. Alone's going to have his work cut out for him on the Invoker. I'm not sure Lumiere is going to be able to pump out enough damage as this game goes on, but you don't have a super hard carry on the side of D2 Hustlers either. You've got Magnus being played by Yuma, but even if he doesn't find farm, we've seen this guy pull off some amazing stuff on this hero. Pulling back the enemy team into the fountain and whatnot is always a treat to watch. Yuma is an absolute beast on this hero.
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, it's his favorite carry to play, from what I've been told. And, if given the opportunity, he's going to go for it. And this is a pretty decent game for it, to be honest. Like, they don't really have too much to worry about. As far as like the Magnus lane goes, you are into the Timbersaw, which we saw yesterday, but my guess is with Yadomi here on the Witch Doctor, they have a little bit more harass. And Yuma just gonna peel off to the jungle like he normally does once he gets to like level 4, level 5.
All right, we've got a quarry to settle this game.
When don't we, dude?
Yeah. Llama on his Tiny. I'm surprised that they ended up playing this one on the support. It's gotten a lot more popular across basically every region. I'm not going to be surprised if it is one of the most contested picks at the international.
Which one?
Excuse me. Tiny.
I agree. Last night, by the way, patch dropped, and we probably forgot to even mention 7.30D came out last night. Big fan of D patches. You get the throat singing out of the way here at the start of the game, as in D2 Hustlers fashion. But yeah, 7.30D dropped last night. Honestly, some weird changes. I think for the most part they're pretty good, but Brigand's Blade got buffed out of nowhere.
That was a surprise to a lot of people. We're in a super secret group chat with a couple other casters, namely MLP and John X Fire.
They're like super secret chat with these people, though. Like, it's a very good secret. Very confidential, of course.
Yeah. I like falling back on what other people say, though, because I sound very smart. Like I'm talking to all these big names, like the PGL
like MLP
caster,
and John, like
MLP. Yeah, exactly.
Like actual big name casters.
Yeah, big name casters like MLP. And if I end up being wrong, well, it's their fault for giving me this incorrect information as well. So also going to rely on MLP and throw him under the bus at the same time. He is very surprised that they ended up buffing Brigand's Blade.
At first, I quickly saw Brigand's Blade on the list. I was like, oh, cool, slight nerf. And then I read it again, and I'm like, huh.
Thanks, guys.
It does more damage. Interesting. You get Brigand's Blade on a Wind Ranger now. It's just pretty ridiculous. Like, it was already pretty strong for her. Another thing that was a little strange, or one change that I actually really liked, I don't think it was strange. I think this was actually a really good change. The change to the cloak, what is it called? Nether Shawl. To basically make it worse to basically kind of remove the edge case scenarios of Nether Shawl. So there were certain games where you literally couldn't pick up this item because there was too much minus armor on another team. And then there was other games where if you got it, it was like game winning because you got so much magic resistance and spell amp. And so they kind of met somewhere in the middle on the item. And I think that type of change is always welcomed. Getting rid of those like certain items just being potentially game winning, and kind of make them more generally good and generally worse in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. It's kind of like things like the flicker as well were just way too game breaking when you're playing against a lot of magic damage.
Yeah.
Especially given that it's a free item.
Yeah.
The Nether Shawl. So the fact that it gave you more magic resistance than even 100 Defiance did is kind of ridiculous. Now it's just sitting at that 20%. So
Here's
here's like Morphling are going to be a little bit nerfed because of it, but it removes the RNG factor from the game, which I think is pretty important. I don't want to see a team win or lose the international just because they happen to roll the right neutral in into the game. Or the wrong neutral.
Ooh, Excel accidentally popped this fairy fire trying to taunt right there. You know, it happens to the best of us.
Uh-oh, stinky.
I rebound some hotkeys the other day because what was I doing? Oh, I needed to rebind my neutral item hotkey, which then forced me to move my taunt hotkey. And oh boy, oh, that's a toss underneath the tier 1 tower. Oh my god, they are starting out hot here on D2 Hustlers.
That goes to Mr. Jeans as well. Your mid laner manages to find that first blood after that toss happens.
Sometimes you just like, the thing is it's so common that you just see, oh, they're gonna go for it again. They see the Invoker.
They can't keep getting away with it.
And now they will get a free D-ward as well. Oh my goodness, what an explosive start from D2 Hustlers. I was gonna say, one of the things that you see all the time is heroes just like walk onto the enemy high ground, just like, you know, all dumb and stuff. Like, oh, look at me, I'm on the enemy high ground. But nope, so they had a plan for it this time. They're like, oh, they're just gonna expect it to be just another day here in Dota, but nope.
Yeah, trying to scat out the ward or something like that will harass them because of it. It'll be easy.
Yeah, it'll be all fun and games, but nope, you're behind the enemy tier 1 tower all of a sudden.
Whoops, looks like you're dead to the enemy mid laner. You're just gonna have a bottle at like less than a minute into the game, like 30 seconds in, as soon as the bounty runes.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, an explosive start, like you said. Mr. Gene's going to be happy about that. And this guy, he's good to begin with. To give him another advantage is going to be a little bit depressing to have to play this matchup now on alone.
And it's not like the Void Spirit loses lane to the Invoker. It's not an easy lane to for the Invoker to play against. Like your Tornado EMP combo is never really safe. You can always dissimulate dodge unless you perfectly time the cold snap to the cast point of dissimulate, and then you can hit it, but it's still pretty hard. So you should be able to farm pretty easily here on the Void Spirit. He's got plenty of physical damage reduction. And yeah, like you said, that instant bottle. I would be surprised. Yeah, he actually has no null component, so yeah, he's going to just get the bottle right away.
Yeah, no, Ricky, one thing that we're allowed to do, is we're keeping things pretty relaxed here today, is we can do chat interaction, all right?
Wait, what?
We're allowed to do chat interaction. There's one comment inside the chat right now. I'm going to read this one out loud for you. You ready?
Oh, God.
You're done.
This person says, if I hit a GF, I would not let her see rkryptic right now. Your thoughts?
Nice.
It's cracking up.
All right.
You are looking very handsome today, my friend.
Thanks. You know, we set a precedent every time where it's like, you know, the get up gets a little bit better all the way through the grand finals, and I was like, you know what, we're flying all black today. It's gonna look nice and slick. But
I actually couldn't find my black dress shirt. I was threw on the one from yesterday.
That's all right. It's clean.
Oh. Yeah. So I did find my blazer, but the dress shirt is probably being used as like a cushion or something for my cats. Bogdan probably took it. Shout out to Bogdan, by the way. He carries my career.
Big Bogdan fan.
Yeah, most photogenic cat in the world.
There's actually been a title for most photogenic cat in the world, and it was claimed recently. I'm not sure if you're actually aware of this.
By Bogdan.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Bogdan. I hate to break it to you. You gotta enter the contest. Send Bog in there. He might win. I'm not saying he can't win. He just needs to enter the contest.
Yeah. So anyone who wants to know what Bog looks like, Twitch. Sorry, I was about to advertise my Twitch. Twitter twitter.com/neph-sensei.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Lots of Bogs.
Excellent Bog pics. Yeah, bangers.
Right, another toss to the tower. You can't keep doing this. Timber chains away, but damage is done to Vilama, though. I mean, you're going to get punished for this. It was funny the first time, but they're ready the second time here on Infamous, and that is going to be a kill going the way of Alone. And suddenly the mid lane matchup pretty even.
Yeah. All right. There need to be the punish there. So he's not going to be as cheeky about it in the next game going forward if he tries to do something like that. Sacred is forced to go through a region here, but he's going to be just fine.
That's a quick level 2 from Jeans, and as a result, a lot of damage out onto Alone's Invoker. Level 1 Quas not nearly as effective as it used to be. They're just spam high-fiving each other in the mid lane. Always fun. I love these guys. You know, these guys are here to have fun. Drops the post as well. This is the peak of Dota right here. This is what it's all about.
Wow. Just a couple of guys having fun in the mid lane. Unfortunately, Mr. Jeans has a bit of an advantage. Almost loses.
He's losing his courier. Oh, he's not losing the courier. Oh, that was close. Invoker,
Yep.
such a slow hero. It's really his short legs that prohibits him.
Yep. You know, he's also a bit of a nerd. He does not run very fast. Spends all of his time reading books.
That's true. He's a big fan of books.
Disgusting. Me, the Chad Neff, barely literate.
I can't contest to this. Let's take a look at these side lanes, though. We haven't really talked about it. Sacred on the Timber Saw was forced to go with that Timber Chain 1, just as he did yesterday. A lot of times in the lane here against the Magnus, you want to grab that Chakra Ball. They perfectly timed the stun under the tower. Sacred goes down. Well played by Yadomi. He might go down here. No, he's got a stick. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, he ended up going 1-1-0 as well in the Timber Saw. He's just not tanky down here. Like, going for the kill potential, yeah, sure, it's great to go Whirling Death Timber Chain, but
there's a dead courier, and they will know
with
about the
boots
ward
on
now.
it.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So he's going to know about that ward at least. Yadomi, going to grab that one right away. But yeah, getting those boots is huge because Yuma, when you play on this Magnus, one of the big things is your positioning against him. And if he has the move speed advantage, you always got to be careful of the skewers, which we've now seen for the 3rd time this game. Oh, by Llama. Seeing a little bit of trouble here. He's taking a lot of damage from this camp. 0 armor Tiny getting crushed by these troll summoners is a lot to deal with. And Lumiere just needs to get in range. One more auto attack. He high ground misses. I don't know if it would have been enough damage. It would have been very close. It would have come down to the variance. Block. Yeah, the damage variance and damage block.
I think you might have survived that one. I'm surprised that Lumiere didn't keep going there, though. You had 11 stick charges. It would have been able to land another Lucent Beam and finish off the Tiny there for sure, but...
He didn't have the move speed. Tiny got boots had boots. He's like 20 MS faster or something.
15.
Is
if my calculations are correct.
Yeah.
Glasses sheen loudly.
Glasses sheen very loudly.
Top lane. They're about to lose Monster.
Yeah, you got the Tiny rotating in, but too much damage. Oh, Avalanche, the body blocks. Dude, toss him out. Divine Llama had been funny. All right, he's not going to do it. It would have been quite funny if he tossed Excel in to kill Monster, but also killed the Clockwork. See, you know, we're all about the funny plays here.
That would have been the funny play. I'm sure Monster would have been pretty upset, though.
Come on, guys. You make me play Tidehunter first every game.
Now you're setting me up for failure.
Keep killing me. Yeah, it would have been a rough one.
Yeah. Back over to the mid lane here. Oh, almost ends up landing that Illuminate. He would have gone down on Mr. Jeans, but it connected.
Yeah, he's just being sneaky boy there. Mr. Jeans does have a bounty rune in his triangle though, so he'll be fine with that. And bottom lane, they're just giving a lot of space to Yuma now. This Magnus is off to a fantastic start, 25 CS. I think when we saw this exact matchup yesterday, the Timber Saw was actually ahead for a while, but not the case this time. I think a lot of it is the Witch Doctor, honestly. There's that stun to interrupt that Timber Chain, and they got those skewers, put him in a really bad position.
I think part of it comes down to the skill build as well. He's level 3. He went 1 point of Whirling Death, 1 point of Timber Chain. So he doesn't have the armor or the HP regeneration to survive the harass from Yadomi and Yuma here. And part of that was, I mean, getting tossed back into the tower. He was forced to go Timber Chain in order to survive, right?
Yeah.
And he's just playing his strength here on matchup, so he wants to go points into Whirling Death here as well. So unfortunate circumstances, forced to go with skill build that wasn't ideal. He's level 4 now, so you can start maxing out reactive armor. It's gonna be trickier to zone him in the mid lane.
Whoa, Jeans goes down to alone and he gets a tip. They've been so friendly all game. That is close. He actually, I mean, he did 663 damage there on Mr. Jeans. He just died to the, he had to take multiple tower shots here. No, he just got right clicked by Invoker and didn't do the calculations. Monster top lane, also in a little bit of trouble here. It does get the Anchor Smash off to reduce some of this damage. Has the Hood of Defiance, so barrier should be enough to keep him alive as well. Divine Llama, though, might be in trouble. He's getting chased down by, ooh, he almost toggled those Tranquils. That would have been interesting.
He was trying. But, yeah, Mr. Jeans, he probably wasn't expecting the double null talisman out of the Invoker. Because that he was able to stand his ground and fight him.
He could get aggressive again. He's got a regen rune in his backpack with Divine Llama rotating over outside of vision, mind you. I think they're going to go for it. It's going to be close. They have no fort for this creep wave, so not an easy kill. And alone, just positioning so smart here on the Invoker. A lot of players would just sit in front of the tower here and die to a tiny rotation, but not alone. This guy's too good.
Yeah, he realizes something's up. He gets back now.
Speaking ooh, Sacred's gonna make it out. All right.
Yep.
Rotation in from the Excel Clockwork too.
Unfortunately, he's got no regen for him, so they're not going to be able to make any plays down here. And Human's just going to move to the jungle. The lane's pushing to the tower. With 3 points of empower, this guy's going to farm pretty fast. You hit 7 minutes, so tier 1 neutral items are going to start dropping. So, now that we've got a little bit of downtime, Luna has moved over to the jungle. Not interested in fighting against Sponsor on this Tidehunter anymore. We can talk about some more of these 7.30 D changes. Valve, like the sadists they are.
Ooh, Sacred. Almost going down here, the Maledict. I don't think it's going to be enough to finish him, and a great rotation from Alone as well as Excel. They're on top of Yuma. They've already taken down the Witch Doctor, and this Magnus gonna bite the dust, and that's a ton of earn charges going the way here of this Invoker.
I'm surprised they played that far forward. I mean, they knew there's 3 heroes down here. Invoker moved down to make it a party, but they still continue to play that far up. I thought they were going to move Yuma into the jungle for the next little while.
They're trying to get these Maledict kills, right? That's the idea with picking this Witch Doctor into this Timbersaw is, you know, you can get aggressive with these 2 points Maledict, but Sacred just barely surviving both times. This casual cloak and these 3 points reactive armor was enough. And yeah, overextension from D2 Hustlers gets punished pretty heavily. Meanwhile, Lumiere is here to clean up some of these jungle stacks.
Yeah, everybody's going to get back now. You get a decent-sized Ancient stack. You went 2-2-2 on the Luna. In the past, we'd see Lunas go 1 point in the Lucent Beam and start maxing out Moonglaves after 1 point in the Lunar Blessing, but doubling the damage on the Lucent Beam to be able to secure the assets in the lane, have a little bit more harass, seems to be the more popular build. We'll probably max out the Moonglaves here to be able to take the Ancients with the Mask of Madness as well.
Yeah. Gotta be the case. It's just too good to pass up for clearing stacks. I'm gonna get one more stack on these Ancients, and then very close to that Mask of Madness like you're talking about. Bottom lane. They're gonna TP down here on Yodomi. They don't want to give up this tower quite yet. 3 points into Maledict. You have kill threat on the Timbersaw. You can bring another hero here. But Yuma is still jungling. He's actually just outside of vision of Alone, so they're not going to cross paths, but they're instead just going to try and dive the Witch Doctor, and it's going to be Sacred, dumping out a lot of damage to the Chakram, something that was actually just buffed in this recent patch. The pass damage increased by 10 at level 1, 15 at level 2, and what, 20 at level 3? So not bad.
Yeah.
And that's each pass, by the way. Tornado EMP off the mark from Divine Llama. He's gonna find Michael, though. Doesn't get the toss back. Now he does. Mr. Jeans gonna try and do the damage here on the Void Spirit. Misses his Remnant, but still gonna be able to find the kill. The 4 points Dissimulate. This is my favorite Void Spirit build. If you can get the chance to use it, they are gonna go ahead, go for Alone. They grab him with the dust. Can they finish the kill, though, is the question. He's gonna try and go for Divine Llama. The toss is there. Doesn't have the right click damage. He does just at the very end. But it's such a costly death. Excel there with a nice block from these cogs, but does have to be careful now as Sacred's coming out on the backside, looking to get aggressive here onto Yuma. They've already dropped the Maledict, and Yuma squeers away, but he's managed to catch Sacred. Finishes him off with that last whirling death. Jeans should be safe here. Excel does have a hook shot, but does not want to risk it. Does not want to dive the tier 1 this early.
No. Not
Oh,
against
and he has a
somebody-
regen. Wow, that's a quite a good rune there.
Yeah, he picked that up while trying to run down the clockwork. So he managed to get around the cogs by astral stepping down, outran the clockwork, and because he went this dissimulate build, if he tried to hook shot in, he'd be able to turn things around at him pretty quickly. He's only got an 11-second cooldown. He don't have the lockdown or damage to blow up Mr. Jeans at this point. So he's doing decent for himself right now. I'm not sure he's going to be able to defend the mid lane here, though.
Monster's TPing in. They did see this just barely on the Keeper of the Light, and Tidehunter is huge. He has top net worth. Monster has had a fantastic start to this game, and he's on his way to an Echo Saber. One of the more greedy builds out of the Tidehunter if you get a great start.
And he does have a great start. I mean, he's probably, for the first time.
Oh, Excel knows he's in the danger zone, and I don't know if he's going to get out of this one. Yeah, there's going to be this toss in. The Skewer comes out as well. The Dissimulate. He gets the hook shot, though. I think that's blown all their spells. He's safe.
Yeah. Excel's out.
Look at this guy. What a space maker.
Yeah, they can't catch him. And Mr. Jeans forced to use 2 charges of Astral Step there to try to gap the distance, and a lot of mana, too.
Who would win, Neff? A sentient rock, a magnetar, or a master of the void versus a little robot?
The robot. Didn't you watch that OpenAI thing on
no.
Summit the other day?
Clockwork is OpenAI. There was actually a funny piece at the end of the documentary where they were explaining why he didn't want Clockwork to be the face of OpenAI, which was kind of interesting.
Why is that?
They wanted it to have human-like properties, so that's why they chose Axe. They're like, it's too obvious to have just picked Clockwork, but they want the OpenAI to, have human-like facial expressions and personalities, and also had to be something that the AI could play, since Clockwork's not in the hero pool.
If robots are so smart, then how come they can't play all the heroes that I can play?
Just because you can play a hero doesn't mean you should, though.
Oh my god, I didn't get the Invoker. He just TP's out. It's that easy.
Nice.
Let's escape. I know. Until OpenAI learns how to play Earth Spirit, I'm not convinced it's so smart. I don't need numbers or millions of matches against myself in order to play Dota. Like I said, I play completely on feeling.
Tornado, EMP into the mid lane. Monster, goodbye mana pool.
Yeah. Makes things kind of miserable. And again, no Echo Saber yet. Alone's trying to put the damage on. Monster is
top lane though. They're going for Sacred. They've got a DD rune. In comes the hook shot to cancel the death ward. But Sacred, he's taking so much damage. And it looks like, gonna get sniped there by Yuma. Excel on the backside, able to finish off the Witch Doctor, but he is alone now in these trees. The Avalanche comes through, and Mr. Jeans with this DD rune helps find the kill there for Yuma. And that is now the Magnus Blink Dagger completed. This is when things get scary.
But now going to be able to set up these RPs. There's going to be huge damage coming up from Mr. Jeans, who with this Max Assimilate build. So we end up getting bunched up under this RP. Mr. Jean's going to be able to pump out a lot of damage onto you. Not to mention the follow-up Ravage that Monster has yet to use this game.
He's just a farming Tide.
Yeah, this is actually position 1. Don't be mistaken.
They're looking for the triangle. They're just slightly too late to find Lumiere here. They actually smoke up themselves. No ward placed. Yuma, he goes in. He gets the RP onto 2, but there is an EMP. The Skewer Weight sends over the Tide. There's the Ravage. Invoker goes down. The Clockwork to follow, and now Michael crushed by the 5 heroes of D2 Hustlers.
That's the Blink Dagger reveal you were talking about. Monster, it's just as easy as walking up into them. Because they find those kills so close to midline, they're going to be able to grab this tower. They don't get the Luna. She continues to farm up. She's sitting at the top of the net worth, but this is going to give them a lot more map control now on D2 Hustlers. They've hit their timing, and well, they have to wait for these ultimates to come back up again. control of the map. The fact that you got 3 heroes there, amazing movements out of them.
Yeah, a lot of XP going their way off of that one. We can take a look at the graph. Overall, gold, slight advantage for D2 Hustlers. The XP, however, nearly even now after that fight.
Yeah.
In the jungle here, Monster. It looks like he's going down here, neph. I don't think he's getting out of this one. Gonna go the way of Lumiere. That is a big death. Hook shot into the mid lane. It's found Yadomi once again. And yeah, there is nothing you can do here on this Witch Doctor. Devi Llama actually in a bad spot. Goes for the Avalanche toss against Excel with the Maledict. They'll do some damage, but you're just feeding one by one. And now Sacred looking for more. Yeah, so he ends up taking out to the Maledict, which, you know, is expected. It is a 4-point Maledict after that Avatos.
Well, it was the Shockwave that secured that one.
Oh, is that what it was?
Tick. Before the second tick of the Maledict, he got a Shockwave off onto him. So that ends up doing enough damage for him to find that kill there.
Mr. Jeans in the bottom lane here needs to be careful. Alone's looking for him. He's got double Astral Step, though. Dissimulate for the first time. Astral Steps for the second. And he's going to be fine. He's going to be out.
Yep.
He's out of resources, though. He needs to go base. Didn't get the bottle hand off there, as there was no item, there's no inventory slots here on Monster.
Yep. It's very quick movements out of Infamous as soon as those ultimates on D2 Hustlers go on cooldown. I was expecting them to play a little bit more timid, but I guess they realize that this is their timing. They've got the Blink Dagger and the RP on the Magnus. They go, okay, well, we're not going to wait for them to set up their next play. Let's find something ourselves. And, you know, managed to find that. Find some towers, find some kills, and even things back up. In fact, get a little bit of net worth advantage themselves. So Ravage is available in another 5 seconds here. D2 Hustlers, they could look to make the same play they did last time they had these off in cooldown. Devi Llama in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, Sacred's playing really aggressive here, which he should be. He is the Timber Saw. He's got this Sange completed, the Hood of Defiance. Going for that Kaya. They've made a decent amount of space for this Luna, though. Lumiere, top of the net worth, now has the Sange and Yasha completed with the Dragon Lance.
Masterful mark.
On the way to the BKB. That is going to be his next item. Doesn't want to deal with the potential Ravage. Makes sense.
Can't save yourself from the RP, but there's a lot of magic damage coming out from D2 Hustlers as well. There's the Maledict, there's a huge burst coming out from Mr. Jeans.
Smoke on 4. D2 Hustlers going for the wraparound, but Excel reads it perfectly. He's going to be able to pop the smoke here. He definitely dies for this, but a worthy cause if they're able to not lose anybody else. But in comes Monster. He just pops the Ravage. Where's Yuma? He's looking for on the backside. He's got the Blink. He's got the RP. He goes for the Skewer. Doesn't find anyone, but he grabs the Luna. He grabs the Timber Saw. Can they finish them off, though? He's so tanky. Lumiere pops that Mask of Madness, turning it around. The damage is not there. Jean's falling too low. He has to leave. Yuma came in just a little bit too late to follow this one up, and Devi Llama actually was looking to go for a snipe on the backside here. Gets found, and just gonna hand that kill on over to the Luna instead.
Yeah, Tightheader couldn't follow up the Ravage with anything else. Didn't even have the mana to use Anchor Smash there, and so despite the fact that they get a solid Ravage, they get the RP'd off on a 2, they didn't have the follow-up damage like you mentioned. People just weren't in position there. I think a lot of it came down to Witch Doctor getting gone at the start. He ended up going double Fluffy at, so he was pretty tanky for the Clockwork initiation, but he wasted his Death Ward.
Yuma misses the Skewer there, but they managed to find Sacred. If they can get this Maledict out, he might be able to go down here, but there's the Spirit Vessel, and the damage just turns onto Yuma instead. They're all still here on the side of Infamous, and Astral Step will get Jeans out of here, but Devi Llama hiding behind the tower. They don't know yet. Be able to survive for the time being. Has to get a toss out again. These Cold Snap Spirit Vessels are beautiful clockwork.
A very nice cog there by Excel.
Yikes. All right. Nice hook shotted onto
onto the Yadomi. He ends up going down as well. They're just snowballing off of this one. They don't have a massive net with the Gene, just 5k, but you committed your big cooldown to Lumiere. With this Alacrity on him, with this Mask of Madness, they don't need to stop. They're going to be able to take a Rax here.
How long on Ravage? 30 seconds? Yeah, they're going to have to back. They're still afraid of the Skewer potential of the Magnus.
They don't have to back. Look at Rex.
Yuma did just disassemble to a BKB, so it's not as easy now. They didn't know this, but it would have definitely caught them off guard. Oh, man. Great series of events there from Infamous. Ends up turning this game pretty much on its head. They just get kill after kill. The tier 2 tower bottom, even a tier 3 to boot. And now a pretty substantial gold lead.
Yeah, 5K now with advantage off of that one, and it just came off of a little bit of poor coordination in that team fight inside your jungle. Witch Doctor gets gone on by the clockwork, ends up missing his death ward, and I just not in the right position on Mr. Jeans to follow up. All these disables coming off on a Luna, so she's gonna have Satanic gun pretty quickly at this point.
That was close. Invoker managed to sunstrike the Tide Hunter while I was TPing out, but just barely didn't get the cold snap off in time.
Just what the doctor ordered. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Satanic is just about complete on Luna as well. I'm surprised she doesn't get a BKB this game. It is mostly just magical damage coming in from D2 Hustlers here, right?
That's true. It is. I think like some of it is that there's just a lot of magic damage, but Luna also kind of wants to just like frontline tank, and going for the Satanic here will give her a lot of survivability. Like Maledict is a lot less useful because, you know, you just pop the Satanic, and Maledict does go through BKB, right, if you get the cast on it first. And so she can kind of come back from low HP in this one. I think she'll go back for the BKB next, or potentially Butterfly. Yeah, Butterfly BKB queued up right away. Mid lane, they've managed to catch the Timbersaw. Sacred pops that barrier, but a nice skewer out from Yuma. Monster zoning Ravage. They just want to finish off the Timbersaw here, and that's going to be enough. Monster now needs to get out Yuma, forced to BKB. Monster might not be as lucky. Tornado comes through, holding him down, taken down by Michael. And Yodomi trapped inside another Cogs here. Oh, skewer back, he finds Excel. Yuma putting this blink dagger in good range, but yeah, he ends up falling in the end. And now Mr. Jeans, he's got nothing left. He got 21 charges. He's going to be forced to use them, but there's a Spirit Vessel on him. He's just going to die. And now Yodomi is going to be next. Lumiere, he's not slowing down. Triple kill into the enemy base. Avalanche comes through, try to slow him, but this Luna is strong.
Yeah, 15K now with advantage. Off of that one, and Magnus, I mean, he bit off more than he could chew there. He tried to pull the Clockwork back into the rest of his team, but the Clockwork is surprisingly tanky. As if they kill off into him there as well. They didn't get the chance to use the RP. The Luna just ripping through you. You can't seem to out-damage the amount of lifesteal she has. Just with the Sanji, Yasha, and Satanic, I was a little bit confused why they ended up going for this one before the BKB, but I can see why now. Lumiere is an absolute monster this game.
Yeah, the alacrity combined with this, like, she can just stand her ground on any of these heroes. You do always have to worry about the RP skewers, like, deep into the base, but if you take these fights outside of that high ground, normally that's what you'd want to do on like, you know, the team defending their base. So, like, you know, let's try and force the fight outside our base, but, you know, D2 Hustlers is the opposite with this draft, right? They want to find these kills, you know, on their high ground specifically.
Yeah.
Avalanche onto Alone, unable to get in range. Now Devi Llama get caught by the cold snap. Sacred goes in. There's the hook shot onto Yuma. He's got the BKB. He's going to be forced to use it. Looking for Lumiere. He gets the RP onto one monster. No Ravage available, and Lumiere doesn't care. He just stands his ground. Yodomi beaten down by Sacred. They're looking for Monster as well. But Yodomi's going to unfortunately join Tiny there on the sidelines.
Yeah, you just don't have the damage to get this Medusa anymore, and you committed the RP as well. They know it's on D2 Hustlers. I mean, you can try to toss skewer Lumiere back into your fountain or something like that. That is the only way I see you able to deal with her at this point. They don't even go back to Roshan. They want to be able to close out this game, and well, they're not going to be able to grab the top tier 3 tower because the tier 1 is still standing over there. It's starting to feel impossible to bounce back into the game.
You got Blink Ravage, you got Tiny up, you don't have RP though. This is a time to make a stand if you can here on D2 Hustlers, but the base, it's already dead. Another lane of barracks going the way there of Infamous.
Now taking control of the enemy team's triangle, setting up shop here. It's going to be the next objective of Lumiere is grabbing this Roshan, find a Legion room. Like, even if we know that she's in here, Your Ravage is still on cooldown for another 50 seconds. Even if you, sorry, your RP is on cooldown for another 50 seconds. I'm not sure you have the damage even with the RP though. Flip a Luna anymore. Butterfly's now completed on this hero. You need the perfect team fight of just like landing everything onto every hero with your AoE spells, and even then it feels like Luna's gonna be able to stand her ground and pop the Satanic and fight you. Aegis now picked up. This game is feeling kind of hopeless for D2 Hustlers.
You really need level 20 on Yuma. I honestly don't know what your play outside of that is. The skewer range is the only way you're going to be able to hold this high ground. And we saw it yesterday against a gyrocopter, right? Pulling him all the way into the fountain after a series of skewers, RPs. And honestly, it sounds like a cheese, but that is the way back into this game for D2 Hustlers.
Simply bring the fountain to them, or them to the fountain.
Yeah.
Those are your two solutions here.
If they won't dive the fountain for you, you just make them.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is
That's one of my favorite things to do on Earth Spirit as the game starts to end. If I'm able to, I get a refresher orb and an Aghanim Scepter, and I go, "What are you doing? Stop diving!" And I double Stone Remnant, kick them into their own, the enemy team's fountain.
Neph, I'm gonna have to introduce you to a hero called Kraken from Heroes of Newerth in a little bit, and explain to you why this hero was so much fun.
You mean Tide Hunter?
No, definitely not.
I see.
Luna just sitting there with the Alacrity Solar Crest on the high ground. This is the go time. The toss back, the skewer into the base. They've got the Horde toss as well. He's not where he wants to be. Ravage still available. Yuma waiting to go on the RP. He gets pushed down. What a play by Michael, but he still got caught with a toss. Neph, we were joking, right? Make it into the fountain.
I wasn't joking.
But they've done it. The Luna is dead. Ravage on the backside. They're looking for Invoker, Monster, and Mr. Jeans. They're doing it. They managed to get another TP out on the Keeper of the Light. Excel, he's got that gem. Precious jewelry now going the way of D2 Hustlers. You know, we've seen it done before, and yet here we are. Almost botched, thanks to the Keeper of the Light there. A really nice blinding light, but there are too many ways to manipulate his movement here.
Yeah. Now they play around their fountain.
I mean, you have to have BKB there, right, to prevent the toss. That's the only option. And the greedy build of going for the Butterfly Satanic actually gets punished.
Yeah, players of this caliber here on D2 Hustlers, you know, they read the numbers. I realized the fountain is the only way. So, like we said, they ended up bringing the Luna into the fountain if she's not going to dive that one. It was such a sick blinding light by Michael, forcing that RP to miss there, though. That was absolutely insane. Unfortunately, RP and your Ravage are going to be on cooldown for 80 seconds. You lost your tier 3 tower. You're not going to have the opportunity to... It's going to be difficult to find the opportunity to get a kill like that onto the Luna again without this Rax going down. I don't think you're going to be able to defend from Mega Creeps this game.
Well, that's the thing that is interesting about this game. It's actually not that hard for them to do it again. They didn't commit either of the ultimates on the Luna, realistically.
Well,
if you think about it, like, RP missed and Ravage was used after she died. Like, they could do it again with just the toss skewer. She doesn't have the BKB yet.
The only concern that I have with this one is that they're going to just...
They're running right for the base. They're going for it again. Magnus going for the TPN. They got forward on these creeps, but now there's the base starting to crumble. They're just going right for the tier 4s. Great Willows on the backside. The Aeon Disc here protecting Sacred. They snipe for Mega Creeps. Infamous. What a smart play. Just caught D2 Hustlers. They weren't expecting it. They really weren't.
No. I mean, that's the number one solution I saw here. Just jumping on to the barracks, making it so that you're forcing D2 Hustlers to fight into Mega Creeps. I mean, if they want to go for the Ancient, the tier 4s, you are going to have to play even closer to the enemy team's fountain, going to make that play even easier to set up now. But fighting the Mega Creeps here, even though he's going to be able to kind of do this with the power on the Magnus, yeah, it is going to make the game pretty difficult. We're only 29 minutes in, and there's Mega Creeps. I don't think we'll see it in Eternal Envy tier game here, but D2 Hustlers, they don't look interested in giving up.
They are definitely not. Toss. Yuma finds Sacred. Into the base he goes, and no saving this time. He's just all alone. The question is, can he take long enough for the team to get here? And he kind of has. The Witch Doctor was not in place with that Maledict, and now the hookshot comes in. Monster forced to Ravage. Not what you want to see. The Death Ward comes in, will be able to finish off the clockwork, and now looking for Mr. Jeans. He's out of mana. Dissimulates out. He's going to be okay. This boy is a tanky one. Sacred. Able to keep himself alive long enough. You really do need the Witch Doctor for this. That Maledict is your killing potential on this Timbersaw.
Yeah, but it is difficult in itself. He's almost got his Aeon Disc off of cooldown right now on the Timbersaw.
Divine Llama's smoked up. He wants to find this toss target. They could go for Michael here, but obviously, oh, found number one. Sacred into the base. The Remnant not on the money there, and he's gonna be all right. Tier 4 is falling very quickly. Yuma, no Blink Dagger, he gets another skewer. He pulls him into the fountain a second time. Sacred, is it gonna be enough toss back from Michael? But it's your base. You gotta defend the throne. That's what matters. Infamous just pops the BKB on Lumiere, and he's gonna close out the game.
Before they're able to get that last kill off onto the Timbersaw inside the base. Infamous, they end up taking it. They go objective base Dota. Dealing with these heroes as they jump in and out of the fountain is a little bit too difficult, so they hit the throne there. At Infamous, they take game number one, and things are looking dicey for North America's last hope here in this tournament here, Ricky.
I mean, it's looking a little dicey, but honestly, such a fun game number one to start off today's tournament, and I wouldn't have expected anything else.
Yeah. Yuma, it's always a pleasure to watch him play this Magnus monster. He had an amazing start to this game, but he ended up falling off as the game went on. Again, they hit their timing. Lumiere became borderline invincible. It was all that fight that they ended up losing on D2 Hustlers inside the Radiant Jungle, right?
Yeah.
Everyone just a little bit too spread out. That managing to find Yodomi on the back line, and if you lose a fight on your side of the map, Luna takes buildings so quickly. The advantage that Infamous got after that one was just overwhelming. So congratulations to them for being able to find that fight, take the buildings off of it, and then just not slow down at all. It was really sick to watch them pull the leader back to the fountain, but you're already down 2 sets of racks at that point. I think it was too difficult to come back despite the effort.
Yeah, it was super fun game. Can't wait to see what we got in store for us here in game number 2. And of course, the winner of this series will be going on to play No Ping here in the grand finals immediately following this series. It's a great start, man. Super excited. We're going to go to a quick break, though, everyone. So stay tuned for more here. It's the BTS Pro Series season number 8. And as always, we'll see you after the break.